I reckon Freo by a good
margin.
Oh, last time I said that was when the Bombers played Hawthorn. They got up and did them. No, but I think Freo will get this one comfortably. All right, clean sweep there. Let's have a look at the next game. Melbourne take on Sydney Saturday night at 7:20 p.m. Channel 503. Sydney got 8 out of the last 10, Parko, over the D's.
And I think it might be 9 too. Dawes, Spencer, Tompkins and Stretch. The good thing about that is this is young Stretch, the son of, isn't he? Stephen Stretch, and that's great to see another father and son come through, particularly at this stage in Melbourne's development. They really struggled against the best, I reckon. I was really disappointed. I thought they would at least be staying in the game. They never got in the game and never made any impact on the ball. They've lost, I think, a bit of ground in terms of their self-belief, I would have thought, by the way they finished that game last week. They're not marking the ball easy enough. They've got Dawes back in, I see, and I know that young Hogan's a good matcher, but they're number 17. You think about Melbourne now having a forward structure take a mark. They've been very, very poor over the last couple of weeks. But they remain, with good thing, the best contested possession team in the competition right now. Best contested and the worst in disposal efficiency. Give it back.
J-Mar omitted, a big solid body up against Sydney.
Surprised?
Yeah, I'm
very
surprised by that one.
Yeah,
Jake Spencer gets another crack at it there. Lynchy, let's have a look at their opponents, the Swannies.
Yeah, well, spot on. He'll be up against a couple of big men. Certainly Tippett's going to be playing some time in the ruck as well. So, ins, McGlynn, Reid, Heaney. Reid was late withdrawal last week. Heaney with the ankle injury, I think. But some good ins. Some big outs as well. And, I mean, Sydney, I think there's been some concerns over the last few weeks. I mean, they had a win against GWS but conceded 30 scoring shots. It was a close game in the end against Freo at Domain Stadium, but conceded 30 scoring shots. Again, last week, wasn't a high-scoring affair, but the Dogs got over the top. I just reckon defensively, and that's not the back six, the defensive actions, you just got a couple of question marks above them at the moment. So, and we see that the ins and outs have been a revolving door of some big names. Goodsy's gone out, obviously. McGlynn's happy to go out. Oh, he's gone out a couple of times. Bird goes out now. So they don't mind swinging the changes, but I reckon just a couple of question marks. But really important game for Sydney to make sure they go about the way they do their business and get this done quite convincingly.
The sides that have taken it to them this year have really just squeezed them between the arcs. Just put heat on. And it's as simple as that. Their defence obviously stacks up. Their forward line's very potent, but Bulldogs put so much work into saturation at the stoppage. They love a stoppage. Yep. They just made it a pretty good dogfight for one. But more importantly, I want to ask you, how much does it take it out of you playing in the wet? A big slog like that for 4 quarters against the Bulldogs, can they get a jump on them, Melbourne?
I reckon I said the GWS and Hawthorn game. This is my second game I'm thinking is a danger game for the weekend. Because if the Swannies have at least one player down in that midfield, and there's talent in there's so much talent in the Swannies midfield, one down, and the Melbourne team can get somewhere around 50% of sway of usage, I tell you what, Dawes and Hogan up against the key backs of Richards and Grundy, that might be a bit doubtful.
And they've shown they can do that, those big forwards. It's just, again, probably similar to what we're asking of St Kilda. Sustain it for a full game. If they sustain what we've seen, the best of Melbourne competes against most teams in the competition. So if they can sustain it, they'll really take it up to the Sydney Swans. But I think the Swans will bounce back hard this week. And with professional footy, wet weather, that's all you do these days, recover. So I think they'll be fine.
Parker, who are you going for?
No, Melbourne can't win. I mean, their side's gone. They made so many changes. Well, they made so many changes. That's a sign of a side that's really struggling at the moment. No, they can't win.
Great bird out too. Ooh. Who are you going for?
Sydney.
Swans.
Sydney. Yeah, look, I'm all for Melbourne.
Go on.
Going Sydney.
Sorry.
Sorry. Hey, if you walk through the door...